Hello, good afternoon Tribuners. Welcome back with me Mutiara in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here are the complete news. The first news is 3 housewives smuggle drugs weighing 9.5 kilograms. 3 housewives were arrested by the authorities for smuggling drugs. The 3 used a unique way to trick the police. They wrapped 9.5 kilograms of methamphetamine into 9 packages with gift wrap. It was as if the package was for a gift to a newly couple. West Jakarta Metro Reserve Police Chief, Police Grand Commissioner Pasma Royce said that usually cases where methamphetamine is often found are stored in Chinese tea packets, but this time it's different. This trio of housewives has another way to try to outwit the police. Meanwhile, the head of the West Jakarta Drug Unit, Police Grand Commissioner Adjutant Akmal, added that the trio of housewives had acted several times. They use different methods every time they want to smuggle drugs. When converted into rupiah, the total confiscated methamphetamine by the police reached approximately 10 billion rupiah. A number of gift-wrapped methamphetamine packages were presented at the release of the Malaysia-Jakarta drug smuggling case on Thursday, July 14, 2022. The 3 women with the initial Y are 52 years old, I am 30 years old, and N is 46 years old. In their covert action, Y and I act as couriers, while the latter N as a dealer who gave 9 large packages of methamphetamine to Y and I. Their action was caught and dismantled by drug unit team of the West Jakarta Metro Reserve Police. The police sniffed out information that there was a shipment of methamphetamine from the Malaysian network that would be sent from Pekanbaru to Jakarta. The police arrested Y and I in a hotel room in the Kebon Kacang area Tanah Abang, Central Jakarta on Wednesday, July 6, 2022 at around 6:30 p.m. The next news is Bengkulu City Public Gas Station does not sell subsidized diesel. Public refueling station in Bengkulu City have stopped selling subsidized diesel or biodiesel to trucks transporting oil palm fresh fruit bunches, trucks transporting coal, CPO, and sea excavation. At least there are 8 categories of trucks that will no longer be served, but the trucks above are mostly circulating on Bengkulu streets. The manager of the Betungan Public Refueling Station in Bengkulu City, Budi Irawan, said that his party had stopped selling biodiesel to trucks for 3 days. Budi also emphasized that this policy is not a policy for public fueling station, but a government policy, namely the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources and Pertamina. Therefore, the public gas station only implements this policy. Budi also hopes that related parties such as the Bengkulu Provincial Government and other related parties will also participate in disseminating the policy. If the socialization of this policy is only carried out by public gas station, he said, human resources are limited and he is afraid that it will not be well received by all parties such as the banned truck drivers. TribunBengkulu.com observations in the field. There are no longer quiet use of trucks to fill biodiesel. such as at the Betungan Public Fueling Station and Pagar Dewa Public Fueling Station. Usually, queues of trucks for coal and oil palm fresh fruit bunches will be easily seen at this public fueling station. The next news is Papuan students and people hold demonstration in Manokwari. The solidarity of the Papuan people and students who took action against special autonomy and the new autonomous region in Manokwari Regency, West Papua, was forced to disband. Based on the observation of tribunpapua.com, the crowd dispersed because during the morning rim oration, they were still being blocked. In addition, during the 6 hours of holding the action, not a single House of Representatives and the West Papua region came down to meet with the masses. As a result, the masses dispersed peacefully to the University of Papua Manokwari campus. Manokwari Reserve Police Chief Police Grand Commissioner Adjutant Parasian Herman Gultom said that today's security ended peacefully. The masses should have taken a long march to the office of the House of the Representatives and the West Papua region, but due to one reason or another, they did not proceed. The next news comes from North Kalimantan. The price of cayenne pepper in the Bulungan main market is increasing. The price of cayenne pepper at the Bulungan main market is getting hotter. In fact, the price is almost equivalent to the price of beef 160,000 rupiah for 1 kilogram. Arif, a trader at the main market, told tribunkaltara.com on Thursday, 14 July 2022, revealed that the price of chili had patent rated 200,000 rupiah for 1 kilogram. The increase in chili prices was due to many farmers not gardening at the moment of Eid al-Adha yesterday. However, said Arif, currently the price of chili has gradually fallen, although it still reaches 160,000 rupiah for 1 kilogram. The same thing was conveyed by another trader, Samsuri. The increase in chili prices is due to limited availability. Samsuri admitted selling chili prices in the range of 140,000 rupiah, and so far, there are still many people who complain about it. Head of Trade Division of Industry Trade Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises of Bulungan, Murtina, said that the price of chili in the market is still relatively high. Previously, the price of chili in the main market was still 30,000 rupiah to 40,000 rupiah for 1 kilogram. The Department of Trade, the Department of Industry, Cooperatives and Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises in Bulungan encourages people to innovate by planting chilies, asking whether so far other commodities have increased. Murtina ensured that the prices of shallots, garlic, and chicken meat are still under normal monitoring. Separately, head of the Bulungan Agriculture Service, Ahmad Yani, said that previously chili prices had been high, but they had gradually fallen. To overcome the problem of rising chili prices, there is currently a program that the Ministry of Agriculture to promote the cultivation of chilies as much as possible. After the data collection, the Bulungan Agriculture Service will propose chili seeds. It is hoped that this proposal will be implemented soon. The next news is President Joko Widodo inaugurated Sarinah's new transformation. The President of the Republic Indonesia, Joko Widodo, inaugurated the transformation of the Sarinah Shopping Center on MH Tamrin Street, Central Jakarta on Thursday, 14 July 2022. Since operating again on the 21st of March 2022, the total visitors to the Sarinah Shopping Center have reached 5 million people. Sarinah was initiated by the first President of Republik Indonesia, Sukarno, with a mission to trade Indonesian local products. President Joko Widodo also emphasized that this would be continued. Jokowi conveyed a message to the management of the Sarinah Shopping Center that the management of Sarinah must also be optimized to provide a multiplier effect for artisan to local product producers. While surveying several shopping center areas, the President took the time to see firsthand the products sold and displayed in this place. The President insisted that the products sold in Sarinah were of very good quality commensurate with the selling price. According to President Jokowi, buying quality local products at commensurate prices will give consumers pride. The next news is Police Brigadier Yosua death case at the house of a high-ranking police officer. The cause of death of Police Brigadier Nopriansah Yosua Huta Barat alias Brigadier G at the house of the top Indonesian police officer has become a public spotlight. Police Brigadier Nopriansah Yosua Huta Barat reportedly died as a result of a shootout between Joshua and Barada E. Both are aide to the head of the Division of Probation and Security for the Indonesian National Police Inspector General Verdi Sambo. Indonesia Police Watch or IPW welcomes the step of the National Police Chief General Listio Sigit Prabowo, who formed a special team to handle the death of Police Brigadier Nopriansah Yosua Huta Barat alias Brigadier G, who was shot by Barada E at the home of the head of the Probation and Security Division of the Indonesian National Police, Inspector General Verdi Sambo, in the Duren 3 area, South Jakarta. The head of Indonesia Police Watch, Sugeng Teguh Santoso, stated that the special team had to answer a number of irregularities in the death of Brigadier G. One of them answered a number of wounds on the body of Brigadier G. On the other hand, said Sugeng, the special team must be able to explain the reason for Brigadier G's body for an autopsy. In fact, he said, the National Police stated that Brigadier G was the alleged perpetrator of the criminal acts of threats with weapons and harassment. Then Sugeng also highlighted that there was no police line at the crime scene at the Inspector General Verdi Sambo's house after the incident. This gives rise to discrimination in the handling of criminal cases. Furthermore, Sugeng said that later the joint team would have to examine Inspector General Verdi Sambo and his wife in the case. If the incident went to court, both of them would witness the death of Brigadier G. The last news comes from Madiun. A grandmother dies abused by her grandson who has a mental disorder. An 80-year-old grandmother in Madiun Regency, Baina, was murdered by her own grandson, 30-year-old Toto Purnomo, on Friday, the 15th of July 2022. Baina died in the hands of Toto using a hole on the terrace of his house at 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning. The victim died at the scene with serious injuries. Wono Asri Police Chief Police Commissioner Adjutant Agustinus Dwi Cahyono said that the perpetrator became emotional after his grandmother advised him not to do things that harm others. The suspect was immediately arrested by the police shortly after the assault. Toto is currently being detained at the Madiun Resort Police headquarters for further handling. The incident began when Baina visited Toto at her grandson's house in Sidomulyo Village, Wonoastri District, Madiun Regency. Baina heard that Toto's mental disorder was relapsing. I don't know what triggered it. On Friday, the 15th of July 2022, at 2 o'clock a.m. in the morning, a commotion broke out in front of Toto's house. Kardi has seen Toto carrying a crowbar back and forth in front of his house, while Baina was lying in front yard of the house. In this house, actually Toto does not live alone. He lives with 4 other members of his family, but they also did not dare to approach when they saw that Toto was out of control. Finally, the resident took the initiative to report to the police until the officers managed to secure Toto. According to information, Toto had worked abroad and had just experienced a mental disorder after returning from overseas. Well, I think that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Don't forget to follow us in YouTube Tribun Lampung News Video, Tribun Lampung Facebook, Tribun Lampung Instagram, and TikTok for further information. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.